Namaste. This is Brooke. Just wanted to post another quick video about some observations I've been having lately in the spiritual community where other supposedly enlightened beings are trying to profit off of others in the communities by stating that they can help you to achieve your own spiritual awakening or open your chakras or whatever. And some of them are charging ridiculous prices for this. And from my personal understanding, this whole spiritual enlightenment process is completely self-sufficient personal growth process that comes from within one's own self. And all of the information one does need, if they are struggling or need some tips, or, there's plenty of free guidance and advice out there readily available that doesn't cost you $100 or $50 an hour to pretty much ultimately, not only are you as the consumer of these spiritual services getting ripped off and scammed, but the person that's profiting off of it cannot truly be honest with themselves. I just don't see how one can feel right about that. I understand wanting to be in service to others, but then you need to volunteer or go into nursing, provide a real service that somebody needs, not trying to con somebody into believing that they need outside help to achieve a spiritual enlightenment, because they don't. And I don't trust anybody that's profiting off of this. Donations are one thing. That's completely voluntarily a voluntary action on the other person's part. Try to profit off of somebody else's insecurities. Ultimately, it was what it boils down to. We're talking about this ascension, everybody going to New Earth, and some channels are saying that if you don't meet the right frequencies, you're going to die and fall off the planet, or you're going to be stuck here, and blah, blah, blah. So people going into this really have an interest. They're probably starting to panic right about now. Shit, am I enlightened enough? Am I meeting the right frequencies? So they're going to be gullible enough to pay somebody that claims that they can help them ascend, it doesn't sit right with me in my heart of hearts. I guess ultimately you could write a book, and if people want to purchase that, then so be it. But to be charging $100 per session, that is ridiculous. It's just crazy. And I can't believe that there's actually people crazy enough to pay that amount, for one. If you're truly spiritual and want to help humanity, then offer that service for free, goddammit. Or, go work in a homeless shelter. Go work in social services. Really make a difference and get paid for it, instead of some foo-foo bullshit that may or may not even work, and that person's out, their hard-earned money because they were gullible enough to pay you for your bullshit services. I honestly don't see the difference between what they're doing and what the churches do when they send around the collection plate, and a good percentage of that goes in the pastor's pocket, not to feed the hungry or house the poor or whatever. So, and I also highly doubt that Jesus or any past goddess or god that supposedly incarnated here charged for spreading their messages or teachings. I just think if you were truly an enlightened master or a spiritual teacher, you would want to spread anything you have to bring to the table for free to the communities that are trying to seek a connection with Source, or try to ascend, or activate Kundalini, or whatever. I just don't get it, and I'm really not trying to come from a place of judgment. I just feel really empathic for these poor lost souls that are so easily scammed by these people that claim to be so spiritual and living from their heart. It just doesn't make sense. So And another beef I have is there's some channels in particular I've noticed that have decided to take it, these other, they claim to be spiritual and that they're going to ascend, but they have taken it upon themselves to out other spiritual members in the community or claim that they're frauds because maybe what they're experiencing or have experienced doesn't quite match up or resonate with what they are or aren't experiencing. I just think, all of us have had a lot of crazy experiences, and I just don't think it's fair or right or coming from the heart, yet again, to be persecuting or judging other people for their experiences or the information they're sharing. Because if anything, that just deters the rest of us from sharing if we have to worry about seeing our shit on somebody else's channel the next day claiming that we're frauds. Like, I've just observed a lot of people in the community that just, they say one thing, but their actions show a whole nother side, and I feel like if they're really as spiritual and loving as they claim, they wouldn't be doing these things. And that's just how I feel. I strongly feel that way in my heart of hearts. And I just wondered if anybody else felt the same way or had made the same observations. I know if anybody ever has any questions for me or wants any information or wants to know more about my experiences, I am more than happy to share that shit with you for free. So just keep that in mind. And this shouldn't be about ego, attention, or money. Like, and if you're like, well, I only have so much time, I should be getting paid for my time, well then don't offer any services or just cater to a few for free. And I mean, there's plenty of us to go around. Everyone's a QHHT therapist now, so all of a sudden. And there's plenty of people posting videos with free advice. Like, it's just not, that service is not necessary, I feel. And you're not really providing a service to humanity. You're ripping it off. I just have to reinstate. And to uphold being a bitch or judgmental or negative or pointing, the finger at people in particular. Like, I haven't mentioned any names in this video. And you'll never hear me mention any names. But all of these behaviors are of a low vibrational frequency. And I am kind of concerned for some of these people that seem to think that they are vibrating high and, living from the heart when it couldn't be farther from the truth. From an outsider's perspective. So I just want to state my feelings.